Hello, all. It is Ant-Man 1793 here, and I am coming live with Week 4 recap, junior recaps. And to set it off a little spicy, we have two guests here with me, and I will let Sean kick it off. Well, I guess I
Yeah,
introduced you.
it's great to be here. I have been I've been watching all the juniors matches, obviously just to do stats, but there's been some good matches and definitely some coaches that are doing very well, and it's exciting to see some of their games. So I'm happy to recap some of it.
Nice, nice. And we also have Cool Me Down, and he is here to introduce himself as well.
Yeah, wrong guy, but close enough, I guess. It's David, aka CoolELive, not Cool Me Down. Long time watcher, first time caller. Really excited to be here. Let's get into some Pokemon.
Yes. So without further ado, it is your match versus Einsam.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I will let you start it off with anything that you'd like to say before I just hit play.
Yeah, sure. So first and foremost, the six mons that he brought were not at all what I was prepping for. I was not planning for him to bring Rabska or Choreo. The other four were fine. But I was definitely planning for some Slurpuff action, and I was definitely expecting Shaman. Um, so my mindset coming into this game was okay. This is Talonflame's moment. This is his time to shine. I've got secret tech. No one will expect it. And then I didn't even really get to use the tech because he picked the one lead that doesn't let me use the tech. But so we can go ahead and get into that. But going ahead, I decided to lead off Talonflame. This is a Gale Wings Terra flying set, but Lopunny is the one mon that like messes with that because of Fake Out, obviously. So I'm like, okay, I got a Dipsky Doodles, and then we play from there.
Man, I love Aloe. I'm a huge Aloe fan. I think it
Big
fits
Aloe guy.
so well.
I'm a very big fan of the team that I've put together here. I think the pieces work very well together. I have a lot of defensive options as well as like set versatility within my main core as well. So gives me a lot to work with. And also just like the pivot is kind of crazy. I have like what three or four mons that you
Mm.
can pivot on a whim, so it's like really hard to
Everything that you brought except for Melmetal can pivot.
yeah. Oh yeah, I forget Latios also gets flipped on, right? So
Yeah. Not that it's like the greatest flip turner ever, but at least it's something.
but it gets it.
Yeah.
This turn right here kind of confused me. I don't know. I feel like you never bring Lopunny in that moment, especially because that like it's already been established that that's a Spadef Clodsire, right? So like it's gonna eat it and then die. But like just this string of events sacking like your two primary damage dealers, basically your only damage. Um, this was probably the only turn that I feel like I botched. I clicked the one move out of the four moves I have that probably did the least. Um, and I end
It's
up
real
missing
easy
it.
to just click a U-turn, right? I was surprised that the Rabsco was so fast.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I see the vision where it's like, okay, I want to deny the revival blessing, and you're expecting to be faster because
that's what I was kind of anticipating and hoping for. It didn't play out like that, but it doesn't really like come to matter. Also, Melmetal is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. Like, what is this Pokemon?
yeah, I think he just doesn't have very great defensive answers with what he brought to a lot of things on your team, like Landorus. There's not really great. Like I don't think Bramble Gas is very good, just because the just the pure stats that it has are just so bad.
Mm.
Uh,
I
Lopunny,
there was
like Aloe, Lopunny's just never getting through Aloe, even though it's like good in general.
right. There was a turn a little bit earlier when I clicked Overheat with Talonflame. I was kind of expecting some crazy like Terra Ice action, and he didn't go for it. So like seemed like a dead turn, but in my head I thought I was being super five head. And then of course the star of the team, Lecky coming through for the cleanup. I got a stat pad here whenever I can with him. I got to somehow catch up to Tavin's comfy,
Virgil Lecky
and that
is
Yeah,
Virgil
pretty
Lecky
that
is
pretty
closes
one
it out.
percent fair. Yeah, you got a good team, man. Using it very well.
Yeah, very very happy with where we're at. This +6 was definitely a huge boost to the differential. I think that puts me now at like +14, which is a really comfortable spot to be at. So feeling really good at the week before halfway through the season.
No, definitely. This was a very well, good. It was very good performance, and on INSIM's side, just like as Sean said, I think Bramblegast is just not the perfect earthquake answer, even though it is a grass type stats wise. It's just I just don't know if it really can.
Yeah, I think it has like 55, 70, 70 bulk, which is like abysmal.
Yeah, with no Shaman, there's just literally nothing. Like he also had Oricorio, I guess, but like nothing that prohibits me from clicking Earthquake.
And then like Melmetal, there's absolutely nothing switching into Melmetal in this game. Obviously, the only steel resistance is Circuitry.
Which is still getting sneezed on and dying, so it's fine.
Exactly.
It's not gonna do much.
But also, so one thing I didn't mention, right? When I mentioned that I prepped super hard for Slurpuff, my Melmetal set was built exclusively to eat a +6 Drain Punch from a Terra Fighting Melmetal or Slurpuff, and it didn't come out, and I was really sad because I wanted that moment.
Damn. There's so much in prep, but then it just doesn't even come out.
It's all right. We pulled through.
A dub's a dub.
A dub is a dub. Up next is the infamous Entertainment versus Gwenderace. Yeah, I can't actually remember this match like at all. So I guess I'm just gonna hit play and we're just gonna see what happens.
I love how much like variability Dan has been bringing this season. Like this Oranguru and Caracasa set is kind of crazy.
Dan's like an OG.
I love his like team composition. I don't think it's like necessarily the greatest, but I love how it's just like a bunch of like really strong physical attackers. It's like, all right, deal with everything that I have.
Legit. Like,
and even when it's something like a slow bro here that on paper looks pretty tough, it's just like it can't handle checking everything.
Mm. Beauty. This was Gwenderace's first week with Hisui and Gudra as well, I believe, right?
Yes.
yes.
Kind of an interesting pivot double there. Thunderwave. But what if he was Limber Hall Lucha? Technical for the knock is really nice.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, it looks mind blown.
I forget.
And gets the screen up for free. Sheesh.
I was a little surprised that he wouldn't click Shed Tail there with the Cyclozar. Against like Parrot or Ngaru. I feel like it just doesn't do a ton. But yeah.
Oh, tough.
Like as you say, it's in the right stances.
I don't know.
Dan,
I mean, like, obviously the miss is like kind of unfortunate, but I feel like the speed boosts, it's really mostly like, okay, maybe you'll get some like para hacks, but
Yeah, I think that's what you're playing for in that moment, right?
yeah.
Overheat was a nice burn there.
It's getting to +3 speed and then halved. I mean, maybe like, I think that's Mega Diancie, right? So I think maybe Mega Diancie is faster at that point. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm pretty shocked it lived, but I'm also kind of shocked that he would like run overheat on a sword stance set.
I think it was he was expecting just to one hit KO the Celesteela.
I mean, I agree, but like at the same time, like I don't remember Gwenderace's team off the top of my head if there was like some reason to run overheat instead of like just like flare blitz. Or even like fire punch is probably doing more if you don't want the recoil after a sword stance.
After the sword, yeah.
Well, earthquakes. Pretty solid win for Dan. I think he played it fairly well.
Same. I think he had that pressure on 100 like all
Yeah,
the time.
exactly. His team just got so much offensive pressure. It's hard to get it's hard to bring enough.
And it's just so many hard hitters, and it's just deal with it. And I'm kind of scared to play him.
I think Dan's actually one of the few teams I'm not playing this season, which is kind of sad. I really wanted to match up with that, but
Same.
Hey, you could always choose to play him in playoffs if you want.
oh,
Assuming you
true.
both make it.
It's me or Dan. You got to pick.
Oof, decisions. This game is so funny. Let me go ahead and preface this, right, because Tavin and I are buddies, right? We help each other. Um, he originally was not bringing Comfey, right? I think he was originally bringing Rotom Heat, which I was like, dude, that's an infinitely better Mon to bring here. You're just not gonna have much success with the Comfey. And he was like, dude, no, hold on, let me cook. I'm gonna bring like Terra Grass Flower Veil and like make him think that I'm like cooked because he's gonna bring in Didi and then try to sabotage my priority. And then you didn't bring in Didi, and he immediately texts our group chat and he's like, "Oh, I lost."
I
Yeah,
actually
I don't let him cook on that one. Like Flower Veil Comfey.
I had
Crazy.
Psychic Terrain on Alakazam just in case if Indeedee was gonna pop off for whatever reason. But also, I like ran so many calcs on Escavalier that the Terra Fire Escavalier, like there was not a single move, there was not a combination that could come out of Comfey unless you were just gonna go Terra Ground for whatever reason. But I still had Razor Shell. But yeah, like I had
Yeah,
everything prepped for.
Escavalier is definitely a really exceptional Comfey answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, he. I don't think it came up in discussion for us. Like we were if you were bringing Terra, we were expecting it to be Delmise.
yeah, I just completely said screw spin this game or defog because only Ninetales here really cared about the rocks.
Right.
Uh oh crap. Had
My ears.
my sound was on. But I think I didn't even realize in that exchange that he was Scarf. But I also EV'd the crap out of Nidoking here that even if he did a 2 times Psycho Cut, he wasn't going to kill this thing. Because I had,
Yeah,
obviously,
I was smart with the Pyapa Berry.
and I was one shot in
That was
every
good bring.
situation.
I have no idea why he would like bring in Valiant so early. But
If I
especially like
recall
he didn't even
correctly,
click like a psychic move. Like he's never killing with that knockoff, so he's just kind of throwing away
his
Valiant for some chip work.
he was baited by his oh my god, what is it? Calctex, I think, his extension. Apparently he misinput like a blank set or something like that.
Yeah,
And
because
it
most
showed
Nidokings don't run a ton of bulk, but like you have to think like draft league, like Nidoking, you're probably like making it the Valiant answer because Valiant is just so good.
I was expecting Heat Wave right here, and I
Yeah,
also.
I think Terrifier is probably a pretty no downside play. Like
yeah,
the
for
worst
sure.
you can get hit with is like Bleak Wind Storm.
But it was still neutral all the way, no matter like if I
I don't
was.
think I like the AV Tinglu here. Like I get it's probably like Mega Zam and stuff, but I think it has enough natural bulk that you don't really need to run AV.
Yeah, he was tinkering with that Tinglu set for like a better part of the week, and that's what he ultimately came down on.
Yeah, I feel like it
And
just makes it like so passive.
yeah, that's what we were identifying like post game as well.
Well, actually, I wasn't even counting on an AV Tinglu. I was just going base 250 HP, and I was expecting my nasty plot grass not to kill, but I never even got there with Alakazam.
Dude, that source power was just sad.
That
Dude,
source power was so sad.
he caught so much shit for that. I can't lie. Uh, man. What a play. Love you, Tavin, but goddamn, you should not have brought
It's funny
Comte.
'cause you can't even tell that it wasn't triage.
Yeah, I couldn't because I'm so slow. Like it was just whatever it was. So here were some special decisions that I had to make. On either I think I knew I had to go for an acid armor or something once the veil went down.
I mean, it's so nice because because you knocked off the AV, you can just set up for free because you know it doesn't have Whirlwind. This is a really interesting Vaporeon set you brought. I have no idea
this
why
this
you
was
put
heat.
Rock in there.
To be frank, I was
Just trying to
honestly
be faster with Slowbro, I guess. I don't know.
Free kind of helped me cook on the vape set because he was like, dude, he doesn't have a good water check, but your water no signal beam, whereas Slowbro doesn't have shit to hit Vaporeon. So he's like, just run
Yeah.
Calm Mind. And I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it, I'll do it. Here, I thought I was dead, but I forgot that I was 2 times on Spadef, and I was like,
honestly, that did nothing. I'm guessing he was probably like a defensive Tauren then, because that Bleak Wind I know it's +2 vape, but still.
I won't leak sets, but I
Yeah.
also don't remember off the top of my head.
It feels like it was just a defensive pivot Tauren.
I thought I hit knocked off on it, but I did not. I only hit knock off on Ting.
Oh shoot! I just spilled acid on my hand. Hold on. We're chilling. Everything's okay.
Yeah, it's like the minute that I knew that I had Signal Beam and Slowbro only had psychic moves to hit me with, I was like, yeah, I think I can. I think it definitely works.
Yeah, you had enough of a runway with the Rara Veil to set up.
Like that was definitely probably AV now that I look at it again from afar.
While this game was definitely most likely decided in preview, once Valiant goes down in the way that it does, it's just so hard for Tavin to get back into it.
Yeah, that was definitely his best opportunity to do something. Crown can do some things, but it's not gonna carry a game.
Right.
Like on paper, if I was just a normal 225 special attack, 225 speed Nidoking, I'm pretty sure that knockoff should have killed. But
Yeah,
I was not. I was like, sweet. I can't even remember.
but I mean, you have to figure okay, well, I bring in Valiant, he immediately switches to Nidoking. Surely he's gonna have something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's answering it for a reason.
Yeah.
It was actually answering
Anyway.
both of them if Iron Crown actually ended up doing the same thing with Booster or anything too, because the Papaya was
Side Shock or something.
was his only answer to actually do that for Nidoking as well. So I felt like I was completely overprepared for this one.
Well, I mean, it got you the win, right? You got what you needed.
Solid wins for the boys.
Solid wins for the boys. And up next, it is my homeboy Pokemon Dude, and he is up against the Savage Cabbage. I can't remember who that is off the top of my head.
That's fake. Okay, Alex. That's my
Alex.
boy.
Oh, he's who I'm playing
Battle
this week.
boys.
Let's get it on, Alex.
Just to preface, in case the knowledge isn't there, this is Alex's first actual competitive Pokemon anything. So he's playing all these matches with the type chart up next to him, just to follow along and make sure he's not trolling, but he's doing his best, and we love him.
You got to tell him about the slash weakness command.
Yeah, wait, you should tell him about the slash weakness command.
He was playing this one on mobile because he was at a bar waiting for some friends.
You can still do it on
Um,
mobile, Alex. You can still do it on mobile. It's just slash
It's just
DT
harder.
or
No,
slash
it's
weakness.
slash weak, and then the Pokemon name, and it'll tell you what they're weak to, what they resist, but it doesn't like account for abilities or anything.
Because these two plays were kind of. Was this your friend telling you to lock in, Alex?
Yeah.
yeah, that's our friend Ben.
Because I feel like the first two plays were either him misguessing something, maybe over predicting something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
I mean, I can kind of understand the first play with like, because it's hard to expect like Final Gambit Annihilate.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Definitely like Greninja into Mega Beedrill is like the freest U-turn of all time. And I feel like we could have gone something like, probably gone like Hariyama to at least like resist it. Obviously, there's no like great play, but this was like such a sad moment when I saw this. Like Darm comes in and then just gets Oko.
Yeah, I asked him about it afterwards. I was like, why is Darm not scarfed? Like, I think Scarf Darm literally just takes O's here. No, like Earthquake just wreaks havoc once Annihilate goes down.
Even like Ice Punch, or is that its? Yeah, that's this stab move. It clicks right. Does it get Icicle? I don't know. I
It
never
gets
used.
Icicle Crash.
Okay, it does.
It should.
Never used Galarian. Galarian. Oh my goodness, Galarian Darmanitan.
Delirium.
Not something you see super often, especially because it's not in Gen 9. So, big funny button clicker.
But honestly, he kind of brought it back. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it got real close here down in the stretch of things, but
yeah. I'm assuming that the Gren was Battle Bond. I think that would have
it
gone
was.
hard as well. Like if you could ever like pick off a kill, it's just so hard to stop it from snowballing.
Yeah.
And just kind of another case of like bringing it in a little too early.
That's like I had Greninja the other time out 2 seasons ago, and it was that same issue that like I love the ability Battle Bond, but honestly, it's so hard to get that securing kill. It's like I'm just gonna throw the scarf on it more often than not now than try to go for Battle Bond because Protein is the 1.5 stab boost that you're looking for, and it kind of just does it better sometimes than trying to
Yeah.
get Battle Bond.
I mean, it's nice because it just has options.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. All right. Up next is Kibo versus Twisted Games. The Aerodactyl, I'm pretty sure, kind of popped off here.
Did it?
I think I got a couple kills. I don't know if I would necessarily call it popping off, but I think it secured.
Except that you just did.
Got him.
Got him.
Curious.
But yeah,
Who's moving?
let's get it started.
The really fun part about like this is my like for a precursor. This is like my first draft in quite a few years, right? Like the fun part about being back in it is like seeing two coaches that you've already played like battling each other like later in the season, and just like seeing how differently they play is like it's really cool to like look at it like, oh, that's not something that they brought versus me.
But I think it's like each team is so specific. Like I treat each team like as its own.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think the
Blasters just gets nuked here. Oh no, I thought it got like obliterated. Oh, Dragon Tail, what a play!
yeah, the Dragon Tail was honestly a cool option on Blastoise.
I think the one that actually goes crazy is Terrapagos, right?
Let's see. Let's see if Terapagos goes crazy.
Dude,
Nope.
it always like throws me off how fast Orbeetle is. Like it feels like it should be like base 45 speed to me, and then it's like base 90, I think.
Yeah, it,
Like
it can hit 306. God damn, it's a beetle.
yeah, that's base 90.
Oof.
I'm pretty surprised. I don't know, maybe like Orbeetle is like Terra, right? I
Yeah,
haven't,
it is.
but I remember looking at that and I was like, why wouldn't you just dual wing beat?
And the first impression felt weird too. Even though, sure.
Yeah, surely,
Well, I think
surely.
it's just
I mean,
trying
if
to get hit before he died.
oh, this freeze! I remember this freeze. That's so
Yeah,
unfortunate.
because he thawed on immediately.
That was
I
also
remember that.
clutch. That was clutch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like
it twisted
I,
into
I,
jugs.
I don't have the calc up, but surely like Aquajet probably does a bit more into arrow there, right? Like not a bit more, but like it probably kills.
He probably just didn't bring it. I imagine that he would have clicked it if he brought it. See, yeah,
Tough.
Terraco was going crazy.
Sheesh.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know arrow has been pretty high on the leaderboard as of recently, but I don't remember it being this game.
Oh yeah, this was Terra Poison. So I don't know why they clicked Stone Edge.
Did they have earthquake? No, oh, didn't reveal it.
Yeah, kind of close games so far.
So far.
True.
Oh,
Don't let that fool you.
no, definitely not.
Well, there was like one close game that I can remember.
And Unit's team might be one of the scariest, like in the league for me.
Really?
I am like I'm actually really terrified. I think his defensive options are so good, and he just has like he can really utilize his offensive threats in like Chiyu and Ogrepon to hit just about anything, right? Like it feels just really hard to prep for.
It's like if you could
For sure.
manage Zapdos, the rest, I mean, and Ogrepon, I guess, because he does
Hey,
resist Earthquake. But it seems
I'll call my shot right now, right? All I gotta say is Unit's gotta watch out for Reggie Leggy the time we play. Leggy, put him in work.
Guillotine should have been winning way more matches. There's been some, yeah, that's all I have to say. Guillotine's yeah. Because this team on Guillotine's side too is I think it's fucking scary as shit with Chen Pao and Tapu Fini. But I don't know if Tapu
Yeah, we
Fini
have the same core in seniors as well.
exactly right. Who has it right now?
Zihai has it. He has Chen Pao, Tapu Fini, and Ogrepon Wellspring.
And I think Tapu Fini is very underrated. But without further ado, let's get this one started.
I feel like there's a lot of people that love it, and there's a lot of people that just don't care for it that much. I think it's generally quite good.
It's like very good for what it does.
Yeah. I do really like the T spikes though. It's like obviously a classic Fini answer because it poisons it before the Misty Terrain goes up.
That's how like the turn of events happen.
Yeah. So Toxic Spike's always a solid answer to a Fini team. I really like this Zapdos set though. I love like these Zapdos sets. I think Zapdos is like actually pretty versatile, even though it doesn't have like a super wide like coverage move pool.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 8Z this past week in seniors brought Curse Zapdos, and then it got flinched by Rock Slide and died. It's tragic.
That is tragic because like saying that sounds so cool. Like a cursed Zapdos sounds so cool, but then just like flinching to
Yeah.
death is just so unfortunate.
Hey, you know what? He did. He won in the end. So who got the last laugh?
Not Zapdos.
It was really smart of Guillotine to run some attack EVs. Honestly, like she played this situation like so well with like the
Dude,
earthquakes on the roosts.
yeah,
She ran
I
a
think
little bit of attack EVs because I believe Unit said that Zapdos was EV'd to always live behind a sub from a 0 attack knockoff of Gliscor, but obviously with the attack EVs, he was able to break the subs.
I think overall, Guillotine's use of Gliscor this season has been really interesting. I feel like we've seen a couple of different looks that have kept other coaches like on their toes.
Her prep was pretty crazy.
Gliscor is just such an annoying Pokemon to face.
And honestly, yeah. And especially in that dex when it gets roost,
Yeah, absolutely.
it makes it 10 times more of a pain because out of the Nat dexes, it loses that roost sometimes, which makes it more manageable. Because now the earthquake, without Zapdos covering the earthquakes, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, this Gliscor just being able to live for so long, it just makes it impossible for Unit.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate Fire Blast miss. But I don't know how much it would have really done. It was a good move to not click a water move there and let Ogerpon, because Ogerpon's really the thing that can beat you here if you're
Yeah,
DT, because it can actually take on Gliscor with Ivy Cudgel.
aside from
Oh, that
Chen-Pao
crit
probably being
probably sucked.
Yeah, but I'm talking like defensively, like
yeah.
Unit's able to get in Ogerpon, like.
Well,
I
no,
think if Ogerpon was able to come in like more easily earlier on, like before Zapdos falls, I think this is a very different game, right? Where if you're able to match up the Ogerpon into Gliscor a little bit on those, on the like the give and take turns,
And here we
you're
see why
threatening.
hazard removal is important. Although I will say it was a little bit risky to just let Tapu Fini die like the way that it did because of the Scarf Chiyu. But I don't know. I guess you always do have like the Sucker Punch option in the back, like when you're running that. And you already know Tentacruel is dead, so there's no like hazard removal left. Solid win. Gliscor being a pain,
yeah,
as it
Gliscor.
always is.
Yeah, Gliscor put the team on the back that game.
Facts.
Now, I believe we've saved the best for last.
Yes, because
The game.
Oh, this game was crazy.
I actually helped him prep so hard because I was telling him I knew that like Rotom Wash was coming. I knew a couple Pokemon were coming, so like in mocks, I was just trying to throw him like random shit, and he was like saying like how it's like Scovillian like really wasn't feeling all that useful. But I'm just like, no. Like if we figure out this set with Scovillian, like I really think it's like on paper one of your best answers to Rotom Wash because it stops him from free clicking Hydro Pump so often and Volt Switch because Prim is not gonna like to take a lot of Volt Switches. I mean, he does have Great Tusk, but the same goes that Great Tusk does not want to eat any Will-O-Wisps or Hydro Pumps. So I was like, Scovillian needs to be your answer dog. Other than that, I kind of forgot how the match went now as like I say this shit.
And you'll be watching along with all the viewers.
Legit. Uh Yeah, so let's go. The Deoxys lead was he was trying to set up more
Hazards, yeah. I
hazards.
could see that. 'Cause the only removal is like defog Rotom, which I don't know if. I mean, it's a reasonable matchup.
He like
I do
made
like that play. Like this Breloom is just so annoying for Iceman to deal with.
the loaded dice.
For
Game
Ironite, you mean?
was
At the same
the
time, he
loaded.
doesn't have like a good close combat switch in.
Yeah,
Like Great Tusk goes pretty hard once it gets through Rotom.
I was always telling him to hit knockoff first on the Umbreon to scout for the Chople Berries because he could
Yeah.
kill with close combat afterwards easy.
Mhm. Yeah, I did really like or sorry, I didn't like this play where he like protected with Umbreon because I think you can kind of get your wishes up later, and then like not having the wish for Rotom, just like okay, now I can't do anything.
Yeah, that was. It felt like he just kind of sack rode him there.
Yeah, and now Great Tusk just has like a fantastic opportunity.
The
to pick up
worm.
Well, I will say that on this set, I didn't have the room for Ice Spinner, so
Yeah, but like Landorus isn't the most bulky, and you're getting like a little bit of Rock's chip. I was really surprised by this switch. Like, I guess he just like I don't know if he's like trying to read Focus Blast or like read a double, but I don't.
I thought he was gonna come that with that scarf with Zard being Dragon Dance all the time, so he can still outspeed it at +1. But he didn't bring Scarf.
Yeah, but well, he's gonna die to
Yeah,
Earth Power.
once he had the Spore here, he literally it was.
Yeah, and then you should always be clicking Mega there,
Yeah, you should have clicked Mega there
but
too, because that wouldn't have
it
killed
doesn't
you.
really matter. But yeah, and then like I don't know why Iceman's not clicking Spore.
He probably felt bad. Because I in the chat was like, is Spore even allowed?
Why would it be?
In other leagues he plays, it's not allowed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's some strange move sets out there, or like rule sets, I should say. But yeah, if this Tusk can get it like a rapid spin off, it's like not completely over.
That's like the
Problem
one.
is like Iceman, all he needs to do is just like preserve Alakazam's Focus Sash, assuming that he's running Focus Sash. If he's running Focus Sash, the game's just over.
I
Because
think
you
he
just
was.
stay in.
Yeah, he
You just
was
don't
worried.
switch Alakazam in to like break the
It
Focus
was Magikarp Focus Ash.
Sash. You can just never lose to Great Tusk because it doesn't have multi-hit moves.
The Toxic was
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. Like you have to get your rapid spin off sometime. Smart play by Iceman. But yeah, like it's not even like Umbreon is like good. Yeah,
Not even a Chople. I don't know if an item got cooked on. Yeah, he had just
well
leftovers.
it
I
was
didn't even notice.
leftovers, but
Didn't even notice.
yeah, like I don't know what he's doing here. Like,
Yeah, this
are we
was such
sure
a
that he
risk.
was like, yeah, because he is Sash.
He
See,
could.
like just go into Zam first. You don't need the Intimidate. I don't understand, but I mean, he gives another kill over, but he's still gonna end up taking it.
Yeah, Sludge Wave. I think he's EV to take one Sludge Wave, but then Mawile finishes it off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it comes in and just clicks Sucker Punch, right?
Yeah,
right.
because he's AV.
This is where I was joking, where it was like reveal Resto Chesto Primarina on the Sucker Punch, because he said like in the chat, like, "Hey, I'm clicking Sucker Punch. Just click whatever move."
Damn, if I thought about that harder,
Resto
man.
Chesto would have gone crazy, and then like Scald Burn.
Oh,
That would have been actually the craziest game of all time if that happened. But
write that down,
alas.
I-Night. Write that shit down right now, I-Night. We'll use that later.
Yeah,
Because
my pick for the best game of the week in a not so bunch of not so close affairs, but got some coaches separating themselves, but there's still a decent amount of parity. I mean, there's 4 2-2 teams. I think there's 3 3-1s, 3 1-3s, a couple 4-0, a couple 0-4. So it's very like symmetrical in that sense. But you know, there's still a lot up for grabs. Over half the season left, and 8 of the 14 coaches will be making playoffs. So everyone's still in it, even the 0-4 coaches.
I can't wait to collapse second half of the season.
that's it. That wraps up. Looks like that wraps up the week 5 recaps. Or wait, did we pick a
Week
favorite
4.
battle or no?
This is week 4.
Week 4. My bad. I thought you said that you're gonna. Did you say you're gonna pick a favorite battle, Sean, or did I just imagine
Oh
that?
no, I'm saying this was my favorite battle. Is what I was saying.
Oh, gotcha. This was your favorite battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really liked the guillotine unit battle.
Honestly, Pokemon dude. Guillotine, yeah, Guillotine was good. Alright. Now I'll officially wrap this up. If anyone else has anything else to say.
No, all good.
Perfect.